What's going on, guys? Orm's Forum coming at you guys today. It's been a hot minute, man, since I did a video. I'm coming at you guys because we're playing this week and we're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, so I might as well do my preview, man. We're heading over to Jacksonville, Florida to play the Jags, so let's get down to it. We got an injury report going on, obviously. That's how I like to start it off. For us, I'll go first. Cornerback Desmond Trufant still out with that hammy. Man, that's been a disaster. We got safety CJ Moore. He's more of a special teams guy. Plays some safety. Got that calf questionable. He was a full practice Friday, so maybe we'll finally get to see him in there. This is a big one for us, guys. Center Frank Ragnow has got a groin. He's questionable. He was limited. He was limited practice on Friday. He's a tough guy, though, so hopefully he gets to play. I'll talk about more of that down the line. And we got linebacker Christian Jones with a knee. He was a full go on Friday as well. We got some other bad news. Tight end Hunter Bryant, the undrafted tight end that we haven't really seen. Got all the hype. Got all the hype as a UDFA coming out. We picked him up. He's got placed on IR. He was dealing with hamstring issues. Now he's got a concussion, so he's going to miss a minimum of 3 games. Doesn't hurt. It's not a big move, but I just wanted to see. I wanted to see, and I'm sure other Lions fans wanted to see what this kid was all about. I'm not sure how much playing time he would get, but it sucks that he's going through this because this is the problems he had in college. So okay, and then for the Jaguars, wide receiver DJ Chark, their stud wide receiver. He has an ankle. He's questionable. He's probably going to go. Defensive end Josh Allen. He's got a knee. He's questionable. He was in no practice on Friday, so we could miss out on him, which is a good thing for Detroit and Matthew Stafford. Linebacker Dakota Allen has got a foot. He's questionable. Tight end Tyler Eifert has a neck thing going on. He practiced some on Friday, so he's questionable. And defensive tackle Avery Jones got an ankle and a hamstring going on. He's questionable as well. So the Jags are fairly injury-free. They got a couple guys that we could miss out. It'd be nice if we can miss out on Josh Allen, DJ Chark too, but it looks like Chark's a go for sure. We've had some guys come back to practice this week. Cornerback Mike Ford, offensive guard Joe Dahl, and running back Bo Scarborough all came back to practice, but they are remaining on IR. But with Hunter Bryant going on IR, it opens up a spot, and I've yet to see what the Lions have done yet. They have to make a decision today to fill that. My guess is it's going to be Joe Dahl because he's been the starter and he's been playing fairly well as an O-lineman, as an offensive guard for us. So I could see him coming back and getting inserted in the starting lineup, but it's yet to be seen. I don't know what's going on. But here we go, guys. I'm going to go do the matchups. The quarterbacks versus quarterbacks here. We got Matthew Stafford versus Gardner Minshew. Now, these guys, you know, they're both having okay years. They're both not lighting up the sky. Minshew's got a 69.9% completion ratio going on though, as his percentage, and it's really good. That's 69.9. That's awesome. That's like 70%. That's really well. I didn't know he was playing that well with his completions. That's really good. And Stafford's at 60.6. He's not having a great year. He had a really bad year the following last week or 2 weeks ago against the Saints. That was his bad game. But Minshew's got like 10 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Stafford's at 8 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. Stafford's played 4 games. Minshew's played 5. Minshew's killing him in yards, 1,439 to 1,017 for Stafford. Right now, as I see it, I'm putting this a tie. I'm going to make this a tie. They're both playing decent football. So no one's really outshining the other. So Minshew's a gamer. Stafford's a gamer. So I'm going to give these guys a tie. Right down the middle. Down to the running backs, we have obviously Adrian Peterson, DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson. Don't know what's going on with Bo Scarborough. Like I said, is he going to get activated off the IR? I've yet to hear anything. I'm guessing it's not going to happen this week. To their running backs, James Robinson, who's their undrafted free agent kid that kind of came out of nowhere and is running well. He's having a pretty decent year. Then they got Chris Thompson, who's more of a receiving threat out of the backfield. He's a problem though. He is a problem when he's healthy and when he's heavily involved in the offense. So I'm going to give the check mark just to the Detroit Lions because I like the trio a little bit better than the duo over in Jacksonville. Peterson's still a horse. Swift, you just got to get the ball in his hands more. And Kerryon Johnson, I know he's been kind of demoted down to that running back blocker. He's been blocking more in the passing game and whatever he's doing, but he's still, I think, he's still somewhat explosive. So I like that trio a bit better. It's not a landslide, but I'm going to give the edge to the Detroit Lions. On to the wide receivers, we have Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones Jr., who I don't know where he is. Someone put an APB out for him because I don't know where he is. If he doesn't show up this week, it's time to get rid of him. I just don't know what you're going to get for him. Danny Amendola, Jamal Agnew, Marvin Hall, and Cephas. Cephas doesn't play for some reason. He should be playing more. But their wide receivers are actually really, really good. No superstars, but they have really solid wide receiving core. DJ Chark is really good. The Vishko Chanot is their rookie, who's a solid wide receiver. Keelan Cole Sr.'s got like 3 touchdowns on the year. He's a speedster. He gets open. He's really good. Chris Conley, the savvy vet, and then you got a kid named Colin Johnson who kind of filled in last week when Chark went down and actually had a touchdown. So he's actually not. Their wide receiving core is really solid. I like all 5 of them. So I'm going to give the edge to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're better than what we got going on right now. I don't know what's going on with our receiving core right now. Kenny Golladay is the only one who's really showing up, and Amendola sometimes. So I just don't know. I just don't know what Bevel wants these guys to do. But on to the tight ends, we got Hawkinson. You all know how I feel about Hawkinson. Jesse James. Okay, those are 2 guys, and then they have over there Tyler Eifert and James O'Shaughnessy. Eifert's dealing with a neck thing. I think he's going to play tomorrow, but he is a little bit of a Band-Aid, so you never know. O'Shaughnessy could take over the starting role tomorrow. I'm going to give the slight edge to us because we got Hawk, we got Jesse James. I think we're 2 really good tight ends. James is a good blocker. He's a big body too in the red zone, so I really like our tight ends. I'm giving the edge to the tight ends in Detroit. On to the O-line. Now their O-line, well, I'll go with us first. We got Taylor Decker at left tackle, Jonah Jackson, and Frank Ragnow, Big V, Tyrell Crosby. To their Cam Robinson, Andrew Norrell, Brandon Linder, AJ Kahn, and Jawan Taylor. That's their guys. They give up a lot of sacks over in Jacksonville. They give up over 16 or more. We've given up 12, and some of those are Stafford's fault. At least 3 of them, I would say. At least 3 of them. And I think we've been pretty good. Jacksonville's been okay too, but I'm giving a slight edge. I'm giving the edge to the Detroit Lions. I think we've been better overall. I like what we've been doing. I don't know what the lineup's going to look like tomorrow because, like I said, if Ragnow doesn't go, I don't know who's going to play center. I really don't know who's going to play center. They might move Jonah Jackson there because he's got experience in college from doing it, and he's Mr. Utility. The guy can play anywhere, so he was a godsend. So I don't know. Hopefully Ragnow's playing. It looks like he's going to, but I don't know I don't know what this lineup is going to look like. I really don't. Is Logan Stenberg going to start at center? You know what I mean? Are we finally going to get to see him because he's officially the backup to Frank Ragnow. If you want to make it like a case for it, he's listed as the backup. Logan Stenberg, the rookie, the kid we drafted in the 4th round out of Kentucky. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. They can move all around. They might have called back up Joe Dahl, put him at left guard, and move Jonah Jackson to center. It's going to be. We're not going to know until tomorrow. We could be seeing a makeshift O-line tomorrow. I'm just telling you right now. But I think Ragnow is a go though. But who knows? It's just going to be really interesting, man. You've got Ode Abushi too, Kenny Wiggins. They all can play guard. They all can play guard and move Jonah to center. So I hope it's not Wiggins and I hope it's not Abushi. I really don't, man. I'd rather see the kid Stenberg in there. Tell you the truth, I don't know. I don't really know. It's kind of a train wreck. It's a little bit of a train wreck. But I'm going to give the slight edge to the Detroit Lions there on that O-line. I think we've been better. Man, Decker's been awesome. Jackson's been really good. And Ragnow's been a top 5 center. We've got trouble with Big V, I think. Crosby's been good, but he hasn't been great. So I really like their O-line. Our O-line's better. Now on to the defense, man. This is where it gets really complicated and tricky. This is where there's nothing fun to talk about here. Let's go with us, guys. Our D-line, Trey Flowers, Danny Shelton, Nick Williams, Romeo Okwara, Deshaun Hand, John Penasini, the rookie, and Julian Okwara, the rookie who barely plays for some reason. Versus their guys, Josh Allen, who's a little bit banged up, Kayvon Chason, who's a rookie out of LSU, Adam Gotsis, Tavon Bryan, Devon Hamilton, who's another rookie, Avery Jones, who's been banged up, but he should be playing, Dwayne Smoot, Doug Costin, Dakota Allen. They're really, in Jacksonville, they got good depth. They have really good depth. You can see it. Us, we don't have much depth. 1 or 2 guys goes down, we're in trouble. And our guys aren't really doing anything. We have an undrafted free agent, Romeo Okwara, who's our best defensive lineman, and that's really sad. It's actually really sad. Defensive wise, though, we're 28th and they're 30th. So it's like, but I like the D line better over in Jacksonville because I think Josh Allen, Kayvon Chason could be playmakers. They're capable of being playmakers, especially Josh Allen. If he's healthy, he's going to be a problem. But I think hopefully Taylor Decker can handle him. I'm sure he can. But you can run on both lines. We're 32nd. We're 32nd in the league, like running against us, and they're 26th. So it's not big of a drop off. Both crap, both. Okay, so yeah. So we'll go to the linebackers. We got Jamie Collins, Jelani Tavai, Christian Jones, Jared Davis, Reggie Ragland. Okay, to there, Miles Jack, Joe Schobert, Shaquille Quarterman, Quincy Williams, who's coming back, and then Kamalea Correa. That's a kid that was at Tennessee who demanded a trade, and Tennessee right away traded him like the next day or 2 days later within the division. So they obviously don't think too much about him trading within the division to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But he's kind of a decent linebacker who can play on the line too. He can play up and down. So I'm gonna give the slight edge to the Jacksonville Jaguars in this because of Miles Jack and Joe Schobert. Especially Jack. Jack's a playmaker. Schobert's a tackling machine. So they have some good linebackers over there. It's not a crazy edge, but I'm going to give the slight edge to the Jaguars here. Collins needs to step up, and so does Davis. They all do. Okay. Now, the DBs. This is interesting too. We got Tracy Walker at safety, Jeff Okuda, the rookie corner, Ora Warrior, the other corner, Deron Harmon, another safety, Darryl Roberts, slot nickel guy. So Will Harris, another safety who's not playing very well, and J-Ron Curse, who's another safety, special teams kind of guy. I'd like to see him play more over Will Harris. So to there, Josh Jones, safety, C.J. Henderson, a rookie corner out of Florida, Jared Wilson, safety, cornerback Trey Herndon, cornerback Chris Claybrooks, cornerback Sidney Jones, safety Daniel Thomas, who's a rookie, who made some plays last week, and then cornerback Brandon Watson. Their big injury, I think, on them is Andrew Wingard, the safety, who's kind of a playmaker guy, tackling machine. He is on IR right now, so that's kind of a big loss for them. I thought he was a really good football player. Now, we're 13th against the pass, believe it or not, but we've played one less game, so that kind of hurts the numbers. It kind of skews the numbers a little bit. We give up 234.8 yards a game in the secondary, and they're 29th against the pass, 280 plus a game. So right there, I'm going to give the check mark to the Detroit Lions. I think they're a little bit better in the secondary. We have some playmakers that just got to get to the ball. We got to change his scheme, man. We got to change his scheme. I don't really know what to say sometimes, man. You know what I mean? It's the scheme, because I know we have good football players on this team, but just change the scheme up, please, For the love of God, change the scheme up. So that's what I got going on, guys. Now, in order to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think you're going to have to make Minshew throw the ball. Because we can't stop the run, okay? We can't stop the run. But if we could slow it down a bit, make Minshew throw, he's bound to make a mistake. Now, he's not a total liability, because I love his moxie. I love his swagger. He takes chances. He's a gunslinger. He'll throw the ball anywhere. He reminds me of Baker Mayfield. That's who it reminds me of. He'll just take a chance. He doesn't care. He's like Matt Stafford. They're all kind of the same. They all just take chances. You know what I mean? And I think with Minshew, he gives up sacks. He takes a lot of sacks. Okay, that's the O-line's fault too. It's not just the quarterback. It's a combination of both, just like in Detroit. But if you get him to throw the ball more and more, he's bound to make a mistake. It's almost like the same thing with Stafford. You know what I mean? But I think Minshew just he's a little bit more prone to mistakes than Stafford. So that's how you beat Jacksonville. You got to somehow slow that running game, make Minshew throw, and then Stafford has to eat. Stafford he should be destroying that secondary. This is the game where Marvin Jones needs to come out and show why he wants a new contract wherever he's playing. I don't think he's playing in Detroit next year, but he needs to show out unless he plans on retiring, because he's been non-existent for 4 weeks. You know what I mean? He's got 1 touchdown on the year. His yardage is terrible. His total catches are terrible. You know, and that's on him, and that's on Matt. That's on the scheme. That's on everybody. It's not just Marvin Jones, but this is the game for him to show out. This is what he needs to do. He needs to come out and he needs to play his butt off. That's it. The secondary is weak in Jacksonville. Very, very weak. Weaker than us, man. Weaker than our, their overall defense is weaker than us. But they have some pretty good players over on that defense. But they're overall worse. We're 28th. They're 30th. That's overall. You know what I mean? That's including running, passing, yardage per game. That includes all the stats. You know what I mean? So it's not a big drop off, but they are worse. So that's, you know what I mean? So like I said, make Minshew throw. I think we'll beat him. Kind of stop the run a bit. Let Stafford eat. Okay? Let Stafford and these wide receivers and these tight ends eat, because all day Stafford should have a field day against his secondary. Field day. You know what I mean? You can even run on these guys a bit too. You can't run as good as we have the worst run defense, but you can run on Jacksonville as well. So everybody should have a day. Everyone should have a day. I just think we're going to win. And by saying that, I predict a shootout in Duval, 37-31 Lions. You know, I'm not overly confident on it, obviously, but this is what I'm picking. This is what I'm picking. I'm going to pick a 37-31 victory for the Detroit Lions. And if they don't win this game, everyone's got to go. Everyone's got to go anyways, regardless. But this would be the icing on the cake. If it's not the icing on the cake, I don't know what to tell you guys about. You know what I mean? But I'm predicting a 37-31, guys. Like I said, make Minshew throw. Run a little, stop their run. Let Stafford eat. You know what I mean? Control the clock a bit too. But Stafford should have a day. He's never thrown a touchdown against Jacksonville, by the way. Eh? Never. He's 2-0 versus him. Well, I hate to say that he's 2-0 because that's the biggest pet peeve of mine. The Lions with Stafford are 2-0 against Jacksonville. But he's never thrown a touchdown pass. Never. So I remember being at one of those games where Detroit beat them back at Ford Field a little bit ago. So I think Bortles might have been the quarterback for Jacksonville. I'm pretty sure it was Bortles. It was a bit ago. So 37-31, guys. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's right in the bottom right screen when you're watching it. Hit the bell, hit the notification bell. It's got all my videos. Like and comment, negative, positive. The feedback is what I need to help my channel grow. Like it, and let's go, man. Let's go, Lions. Let's go for a Lions victory. Boom.